Obviously, your job is literally going out and networking. I mean, it's like the easiest job ever, I'm sure. Amortization, bit of a difficult one to say that. So, we're going to look at networking. I know it's that horrible word that everyone always says, and they go, oh, what if I get stuck with someone I don't like, and you know, it's 4 hours out of the office or whatever, but I think it's a real key integral part of running a business and growing your business and growing your own brand as a person. So we're going to go and have a look at some networking events, join me on a bit of a journey around and a recap, and have a look at the various things we do, and the important key takeaways that I think you need to know to be successful at networking. So we're here today at the Barrow Club in Brighton. This is one of the many events that I do networking, particularly special one because we actually move around in between each course. So it's quite good because I think I mentioned before in maybe some of my videos, if you don't have like an ideal synergy with the people that you're sat next to, it's pretty good because you get to move in between your starter, your main and your pudding. I'm doing the 10-minute talk today, and I'm going to do it a little bit about how you kind of use outsourcing and grow your business, and a little bit about who, not how, the book, and then I'm going to talk about that as well. So yeah, looking forward to a lovely lunch with all the various associates and so on, and yeah, hopefully we'll get some clips and a bit of footage for you guys. As Chris touched on there, obviously I'm probably most known for Charles Cox Property Group, so we're a bunch of property people that do pretty much everything other than estate agency. But what I did want to talk to you all about today was like kind of, as Chris touched on, my journey and how I go about maybe managing several businesses in different industries, but they're all kind of similar, and I don't reach burnout. Hi. I feel like I need to stand on the chair though, because I'm So I'm Chris, and I go out networking and the rest of it, and I love all of that, but it was really hard to follow up all the leads when I get back and chase them up and you know, send off the emails and so on. So I wondered if that was a problem that I could outsource. Well, again, Chris, I'm sure you can find someone that's a VA or an admin assistant that you can source that out to for chasing up those leads. Obviously, your job is literally going out and networking. I mean, it's like the easiest job ever, I'm sure. But you get back to the office and you've got a pile of business cards and the rest of it. You could use somebody to outsource that, so that would be your who. So you can give that to them, and then they can then obviously chase up those leads for you whilst you continue to network. Just some like kind of live examples, just for a bit of humour of kind of how to outsource and so on. And I think it's a really important thing and totally underestimated by business owners. They take on far too much. I mean, everyone in this room has done that thing where you go home and then there's a whole load of work to do, uploading receipts, doing stuff, replying to emails because they've been out all day networking or whatever. Who's going to check their phone when they leave here, see what emails are coming? All that kind of stuff is where you get constant burnout, and you really need those people in the background. And employing people is a big commitment, so try outsourcing. Does anybody have any questions? Yeah.
Quite a lot of the clients that I coach know that they need to hand things like this off to other people, but find it really hard to let go, to trust other people to do a good job. What advice would you give?
I come across that a lot, and I think that it is hard for business owners, especially when it's like monetary stuff involved, maybe handing over your accounts and things like that, or the way stuff is run. But you do need to let go. If you're going to grow your business, you can't be doing your accounts, you can't be taking all the telephone calls, following up the leads, all that kind of stuff. You need to actually have that day of reckoning where, you know, you need to kind of down tools with those things. So advice would be to actually test the waters with people. You're going to have to supervise them and the rest of it, but you will see the benefit of that, and you have to trust people. You know, they're not going to do as good a job as you initially, but if you want to grow your business, you're going to have to do that. hopefully that was really useful for everybody in terms of seeing what my presentation was about. And I always think it's quite important not to just be too salesy with some things, and read your audience as well. That particular room is a room full of high net wealth individuals, senior people, decision makers in business. You know, they know what the business is about that we're there advertising and sponsoring. So I thought it was really interesting to be a bit personal about stuff and actually explain like a journey and like how that we can manage different businesses and what struggles they are, and try and resonate with those audiences. And I think it's really important with networking that you actually do that. So you might go to your local like chamber or something like that, and you get your 60 seconds. That's the time to tell people about all the exciting things you do and the prices that you might have on offer or whatever it is. That sort of environment that we were just in is not the place for that. That is much more a place for you to sow seeds and build your brand, if you like, you as a person and the rest of it. It's amazing at the end how many people came up to me and said how much they liked it. They thought the mask was funny, something a bit different over your PowerPoint slideshows and the rest of it. Me personally, I find that kind of stuff a little bit easier, although it's quite intimidating. There's people in there, I'm not going to lie, it's not my first skill set, but I think that not having slideshows and little hand cards and things like that actually helps me personally. Other people will be different. You do what you need to do. But actually, people were coming up to me at the end and saying how good the presentation was, how funny the masks were, and that it's really nice to understand how that I do that stuff, and that, you know, maybe they should be outsourcing and thinking about things differently. And hopefully that will stick in their mind, and that's going to do the brand really well as it is. So yeah, and we had a few people ask if they could come on the podcast and stuff like that, and various things when I got to speak to them all one-on-one. So again, that's the time to maybe market or sell stuff to it. So yeah, really a good event. I think the key takeaway is really to read your audience and see what your clientele is in that room, and read their faces, see what they are, and then you can kind of bespoke your talk around them. So I hope that's been a really good kind of overview of networking. Today, obviously, we're at the Barrow Club. You've got the other networking events that we've done. B&I, we've got the Chamber, we've got various things in Eastbourne and bits and bobs like that. And I think it's really important that you get out there and you network. People won't know about your business if you don't take the time to tell them. You have to read the room a little bit and see what kind of clientele is there, and kind of do your 10-minute speeches or your 60 seconds or whatever it might be. But it's really important, an important part of growing a business and working on it. And remember, the key theme here is working on your business, not in your business. If you don't go and do these things and work on your business, who's growing it for you? Nobody's growing it for you. You've got to go out and do that, or find somebody to do it for you if you're not in that skill set. I just wanted to finish off the video with some quick tips, just a handful of tips about networking. Normally you have to do kind of a 60 seconds presentation, and I know people struggle with that and they wonder what to fill that in. So we're going to give you some quick tips on what to do on the elevator pitch, as it is called. But what we're going to do is jazz it up a little bit, which is what you should be doing with your pitches. So let's get into the elevator when it comes down in a minute and go up and down it like a bunch of weirdos. But this is all for you guys. Now we're going back down for the 300th time. So, summarising the points. Stand up, make yourself look confident, make sure that you say something interesting about your business, what you can do, what problems you solve, and make sure you finish with a call to point of action. So email addresses, telephone numbers, what they do if they want to get in touch with you. So make your pitch interesting, make sure you solve a problem, and make sure that the final thing is you tell people how they're going to get hold of you. Time and time again do I see pictures where people stand up, look at the floor, don't address the crowd, tell them about their IT services and how they can fix IT and how cost effective they are, and then they sit down. Talk about it, like Make it flamboyant. Just say like, oh, have you ever wanted to smash your computer screen in the face because it won't do anything and you just hit Control-Alt-Delete or whatever? Well, I'm your guy that can fix that, or your lady or whatever. So just make it interesting, and then make sure that you leave with a call to point or a call to action. That's really my key tips for networking. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, comment below. Maybe there's some networking things you think I should go to or whatever. Maybe we might consider setting our own one up at some point. And if you want to come on the podcast and learn more about businesses and more about how you can reach your goals, and one of your goals might be networking more and confidence at meetings and things like that, don't forget to apply to come on the podcast. info@matthewcox.biz, and Hayley will pick up that email, book you on, and that's Matthew with 2 T's as always.